Police have launched a manhunt for a number of suspects involved in cash and transit robberies and kidnappings, the latest being on the N12. It follows a bombing near Xavier Road in the south of Johannesburg on Saturday. A woman was kidnapped and hijacked during that heist. This comes as the province has been battling the war against CIT heists, which have significantly increased at least over the past couple of months. For more on this, let's bring in Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi, who joins us via our video link this morning. Premier, great to have you on the program as always. Thanks very much indeed for making time. You know, many will say we've been here before. It's the kind of typical trend you see in the lead up to the festive season. And I imagine among the most obvious questions is, what are the immediate interventions from government to ensure at the very least that we don't have a worst case scenario unfolding on the roads?
Thanks so much, Ayanda. Truly appreciate the opportunity. You're quite right, and that's the reason why as the provincial government we've identified fighting crime as a priority number one, not to compete with the police, but to supplement the police. Police hands are full. They need every resource that they can have so that they can fight this. We've developed our anti-crime integrated plan, which mainly is to support the police. The first one, obviously, is to migrate to new policing methods. And within the new policing method, we really feel that the motor vehicle is at the center of every crime that is happening in our province. You will recall even the cars that they've been used over the weekend. All of them have been hijacked or they've got false registration numbers. So if you can strategically utilize the car as one of your evidence building mechanism, we have lost the plot. So from the end of this month, at the beginning of November, we are changing the vehicle registration regime in our province. We're going to have a new number plate because the current regime is highly compromised, can easily be duplicated. Our cars can be taken over our borders and anyone can take our cars and do as they wish. So we've put a new regime for the registration of the cars. But the second thing, obviously, is the issue of cash. We've got so many cash circulating in our province. And therefore, every robbery, from ATM bombs, CITs, business robberies, people are hunting for cash. We formulated a strategy to negotiate with various sectors, the hospitality sector, the retail sector, the transport sector. We've concluded with the hospitality sector. They came on board. You will know now, if you visit majority of our hotels, they've got signs that say cashless. We are pushing retail stores there. Almost 8 of the 17 retail stores that they've agreed to migrate to cashless. We've got the necessary infrastructure. We've installed fiber across all our provinces. We've got the highest form of connectivity. And we're also rolling free Wi-Fi in the township. So we've got the infrastructure that can ensure that it's not connected. Thirdly is the support to the police. We've given police, for example, 2 helicopters as the provincial government. We've given them close to 95 high-caliber speed cars, BMWs that are patrolling highways. We're also handing over close to 180 drones. We're putting up CCTVs at strategic areas so that the police can be in a position to gather witnesses. Our helicopters were utilized, for example, last week when they pinned down those cash heist suspects around poisons. Those 2 helicopters that we have, we intend to have 6. Our view is that we must have helicopter per region hovering around our skies literally every time. We are also installing e-panic buttons because if you check what happened there, almost for 30 minutes, these culprits were doing what they wish. If we had an immediate panic button, we really believe that our system would have been unlocked. So we are investing in this, including the hiring of police wardens so that they can be everywhere and assist us. So we've got an integrated plan to assist the police, but the primary people here is the police because, you know, policing is a national mandate. It's not even a provincial mandate. We can only supplement and support.
Speaking of the police, Premier, you know, we had the Deputy National Police Commissioner here on Newzroom Afrika, and he mentioned to us that part of what complicates matters is that those who've been arrested down the line are released on bail for whatever reason. I wonder to what extent do you feel like that kind of undoes the effort that's been put in, even by your own office, to try and bring an end to these cash and transit heists? Because it's one thing, of course, to have these measures, including the aerial presence that you spoke about, but if people are being released on bail, I suppose, are leaving ourselves in a place where there may very well be a repeat of these cash and transit heists?
I dispute that argument, and I don't think there is. I mean, there is a magistrate, as I'm speaking to you now, that was kidnapped and her body was found in Lesotho. Do you think that if you've got good evidence and present to her colleagues in court, will they grant bail? I doubt. It's the way we gather evidence, and that is why we're investing in this kind of resources, so that gathering evidence should be strengthened, and should have the necessary skill and talent for people to present this evidence in court. You will not be in a position to ask courts to do favors for you. If you feel you've got the right person, gather evidence, present that evidence, and let the law enforcement agencies or the justice system roll out their responsibilities. And if they don't, we have to expose them for where they are. But I really believe we don't have evidence gathering capabilities or talent or skills that can assist us to nail this. But obviously, yes, our president will have brought to his attention as well that criminals get bail easily. We need to strengthen our bail conditions, and those that have the power to amend the laws must do so, and do so with speed. For example, how to give bail to people that are not even registered to be in our country, like your Zamazamas. How do we really allow them even to be in our country? So we need to strengthen all these areas where there are loopholes and ensure that we can nail people and have the evidence presented to court.
Speaking of Zamazamas, you've mentioned in the past that you reckon we're not doing a good job in trying to stave that kind of crime. In fact, you called for firepower, I think is the term you used. What's your view around cash and transit heists? Are you confident that we're at a stage where we can still, quite frankly, have this under control?
Where I stand, I think really police have done well. It's just that there are some limitations there and there. And I don't think that you should point the fingers to the police alone. I mean, you check what happened in Toyando, where they managed to get intelligence information and went there and did their work. You also check around Polokwane last week, where they got also intelligent information and they did their work. We really need to assist them and provide the relevant information, and they can do so. But I agree, in the state that you are in, you just can't rely on one team. You need to bring all the firepower that we have as government at all levels, so that we can confront those that have decided to choose to make our country ungovernable, to face the firepower of the state. And coming to Zamazamas, I'm pleased. I had a session with the president of our country. They've given us the information that they're working on to ensure that they confront the Zamazamas. And to where I stand, I really believe that they've responded positively to our call to ensure that every available resource to respond to this kind of lawlessness is confronted head on.
Yeah. Another complication, let's call it, is this idea, perhaps not just an idea, but people have a strong kind of sense that a lot of these cash and transit heists are committed from inside, quite frankly. There's this inside job where criminals are being assisted, and that makes it really difficult to try prevent these things from taking place. I mean, you can only respond after the fact, because in some ways these criminals are a step ahead. How do we sort that complication out, Premier? I mean, what's your idea as government about bringing an end to that particular issue?
Well, Ayanda, we just have to embrace the times that we're in. I know change is painful. People fear change. I mean, you can travel when you go to those that are fortunate to go to other countries. You don't even know the currency of those countries if you travel overseas, because they use technology for their cash. I'm a strong proponent that we have to eliminate cash and migrate, especially our province. Other provinces might be difficult. Migrate our province to a cashless environment. Speak to the bank to lower banking charges. Speak to the retail shop to encourage people to use their cards, their cell phones as a form of payment. Then we'll eliminate ATMs, which simply means that there will no longer be ATM bombings, there will no longer be business robberies, people will not be marked, because our crime stats in Gauteng are scary. And if we feel that we're going to fight crime using knobkieries or fighting crime the old-fashioned way, we're going to be defeated. We need an integrated approach, and we need the sectors that are affected to also cooperate with us. I don't understand why our cash business industry still believe transporting this large amount of cash on our highways and freeways is the best way to deal with them. They need to be innovative, they need to be creative, they need to come to the party and assist us to manage this. It can't be business as usual when you attack literally every day, and you still insist with the same method where your trucks are bombed everywhere. And you also ensure that if you can minimize cash, very difficult, I know. People never believe that one day we'll live in an environment where a checkbook will be history. We are confronting an era where cash can be history as well, and we can survive without cash and ensure that we eliminate this thing.
Perhaps the sign of our times. Panyaza Lesufi, as always, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it. Panyaza Lesufi, of course, is the Premier of Gauteng.